Why the songs from your teens never leave.
A song comes on that you have not heard in 20 years, and for about 4 seconds, you are not standing wherever you were standing. You are somewhere else. Some age you used to be. In a bedroom, or a car, or a school corridor you would have sworn you had forgotten. Then it passes, and you're back, holding your coffee, a little ambushed. It happens with songs from one narrow stretch of your life, far more than any other. Not the music you have heard the most. Not, if you are honest, always the best music. The music from your teens. And it keeps its grip for decades, long after you would expect newer, better songs to have quietly replaced it. The obvious explanation is that the music really was better back then. The obvious explanation is wrong, and the real one is stranger and a little humbling. Researchers have a name for the pattern, the reminiscence bump. When you ask people across their whole lives which songs carry the most vivid personal memories, the answers pile up around one window, roughly the ages of 10 to 30, and inside that, a sharp peak in the mid-teens. In one of the largest studies of musical memory ever run, songs that had charted when people were about 14 were the ones that summoned the most memories, right across a sample that ran from teenagers to people in their 80s. Now be careful here, because the tidy version of this story overreaches. It is not that your brain becomes incapable of loving new music. Younger adults in these studies often rate their own teenage music no higher than songs released before they were even born. The effect is not really about taste at all. It is about memory. The songs of your mid-teens are not necessarily the ones you like the most. They are the ones welded most tightly to who you were. Why then? Why that window and not, say, your 30s? Because your mid-teens were a one-time state you will never be in again. It is when you were building a self more or less from scratch. First friendships that felt like fate. First heartbreaks that felt like the end of the world. A brain flooded with the chemistry of becoming a person. Music, for most of us, is threaded through all of it. And a brain in that heightened, identity-forming state files what it hears with unusual force. So a song is not just a song. It is a bookmark shoved into the exact page where you were deciding who to be. Scientists believe part of the reason is chemical. The adolescent brain is unusually plastic and unusually easy to reward. The same surge that makes teenage friendships and teenage embarrassments feel enormous appears to make the music of those years land harder and hold on longer. The song arrives at the precise moment your brain is most willing to be marked. And it leaves a mark. You can see the same effect from the outside, too. Ask people of any generation about the music of their youth, and you get an identical answer. In the same faintly defensive tone, it was better back then. All of them believe it. All of them are describing not the charts, but their own 14-year-old nervous system. The old crooner, the boy band, the grunge record. Underneath, the same phenomenon wearing different clothes. And a recent global study adds a twist that makes the whole thing feel almost personal. The peak is not in quite the same place for everyone. Across thousands of listeners, researchers found the emotional bump for men tends to land earlier, around 16, and for women a little later, closer to 19. The soundtrack does not just freeze at an age, it freezes at a slightly different age depending on who you are, a fingerprint in the shape of a playlist, which leaves you with an odd inheritance. Somewhere in you is a fixed set list, chosen not by the quality of the songs, but by the sheer accident of when they arrived, stamped in by a brain that was doing the most important construction work of your life at the time. You did not pick it on merit. You barely picked it at all. The timing picked it for you, and then closed the window behind it. That is why the 4-second ambush is so total. It is not nostalgia doing you a gentle favor. It is a memory system reaching back to the loudest, rawest years it ever recorded and pressing play on the exact version of you that was there. And everyone around you is carrying one too. A private soundtrack locked to an age they never chose, playing under everything, now and then hijacked by a song in a supermarket, which raises a question you can test on yourself the next time it happens. If a single song can drag you back to precisely who you were at 14, and it can, then how much of who you are right now was quietly decided, without your permission, in those same few years? If you enjoyed this strange little journey, subscribe and help us reach 1 million curious minds. There are many more weird facts hiding in plain sight, and we intend to bother all of them. The only question left is which one we bother next.